Welcome to the forecast. To my right, we have AP18. Alex, how you doing?
Hello, everybody.
And across me, a man who will not say anything the whole show. His name is GW. Garrett, how you doing? All right. This is the Wednesday Comics Forecast for February 27th, 2019. We are here to tell you the comic books coming out this Wednesday for most of the publishers here. We go with Image Comics first. Here we go. Ice Cream Man number 10. That's W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morzano. Alex, Ice Cream Man, how's the ice cream tasting so far?
It tastes kind of creepy, and I don't know if creepy really would have a taste. I imagine like a Halloween store. This book is very well done. It's got that anthology series of Marvin fell down the stairs. An anthology series of the Ice Cream Man, kind of like I think Garrett tells me all the time that it's like it. He can be anything he needs to be to fit the story. Ice Cream Man shows up when he wants to, if it fits his agenda. I am honestly one issue behind, but I will be caught up at the end of the week. This book, I look forward to it every time it comes out because I think a part of me I don't know what to expect from it, and it's a welcome part of my stack.
And you like ice cream, so they both work out.
Well, who doesn't love ice cream?
What about a sorbet? You like a sorbet?
I don't think sorbet doesn't sound as good. Like I want a good Blizzard or a milkshake.
Man-Eaters milkshake. I don't like milkshakes. Man-Eaters number 6.
I drink your milkshake.
I'm also lactose intolerant. So remember that when you think of the sorbet. Man-Eaters number 6. This is Chelsea King, Kate Nazemic, Leah Materion on that cover. Indelible in Hippocampus. Mod's plan to disrupt the patriarchy is temporarily thwarted, but everything will be okay in the end, we promise. Alex, Man-Eaters, I'm going to say it. It's one of the best new series. The Thing, number 5, was fantastic. Here we are with number 6. What do we think this week, Man-Eaters?
I think Man-Eaters really is, like you said, probably one of the strongest books that's coming out. There's not a whole lot to say about this. This book is just an eye-opener for me. I think a taboo thing to talk about, which is, period or menses or whatever word you want to choose, is almost hard to talk about. And this book does a very good job of talking about it in a actually very obvious way. Sometimes they give you diagrams on how to do stuff, and it's like, as a dude, that means not a lot to me because I don't have to do it myself. But this book is very eye-opening. The horror-esque feel of these girls turning into panther demon things, not demons, but panther monsters, is very exciting and yet terrifying if that were a real thing.
Turning into big cats, so eating some people's faces off. The Realm, this is issue 11. This is Seth Peck, Nick Filardi, Jeremy Hahn on that cover. New story arc, The Red Mother and her children in search for a will, and an old friend returns. Alex, you've been talking about this series for a long time, Realm. Garrett used to get it, but he dropped it because we know Garrett's taste in comics. And I started reading the first volume, and I do enjoy what I've read so far. How's Realm going 11 issues in?
It's a great book. My only problem is I think this book does read better as a trade or as a collection for the fact that it doesn't necessarily come out. It's much like Captain America and Black Panther. It comes out at the beginning of the month or at the end of a month. So there's always like 8 weeks in between. So I can't remember necessarily what the last thing is I read. I'm pretty sure I am caught up on it. I thought I had read issue 10. I love this book. The art is always great. It gives me that feel of Last of Us / like I look at this cover right now. It kind of makes me think of The Hobbit when the team is going into a cave. It's just, this book makes me excited. It gives me that little bit of fantasy-esque storyline, and yet it's set in modern time or post-apocalyptic fairy tale monster land. If you're not reading, I think you should, and I believe Sergeant America would agree. This is a book that you should be picking up if you want a little bit of fantasy in your life. If you don't have an imagination, that's cool. We respect that. But you should be reading this book.
Moving on, Dark Horse Comics, Black Hammer, Age of Doom number 8. That is Jeff Lemire, Dave Stewart, and Dean Ornstrom. The Eisner award-winning superhero saga returns, coming off the heels of the world-shattering revelations of the last issue. The Black Hammer team are all out of their elements, literally. Black Hammer Age of Doom number 8. Alex, how's the second part of the Black Hammer story going so far?
It's good. This book started out super strong with issues 1 through 4 or 5 were really great. I do feel the first volume was much better, was much stronger, and maybe part of it is more not necessarily a contained story, but as a reader, I didn't know what to expect, and now I know that in this book, anything is fair game. People can die. You can go into alternate realms. Like it's exciting to know this book has no boundaries, but it's also kind of weird stepping into it, not knowing now what to expect. Which I realize is contradictory to what I just said about Ice Cream Man, but this is a book that we've already established with other miniseries, and there's another miniseries that's coming out, and there's, I think, at least 3 that go into this book, or at least tie into this world, that there's a lot of stuff going on, and I think a part of it's almost getting to be too big, and I'm not sure what to read first, or what is the correct order of escalation.
What other books are coming out right now in the Black Hammer universe?
There's the Quantum Legacy one.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Cthulhuese.
Okay.
I know one issue of that has come out, and I believe there's like the year 1945 one that'll be eventually coming out here in this. I believe it comes out in March.
I can let you know that you only have to read one of them because I'm not reading those other two. I'm reading the main one. So, seems fine. I didn't even realize.
I mean, if you read this one, it's fine. The other ones just add. It's like reading all the Turtles books. It just adds characters that you've been introduced to. But yeah, I mean, this Black Hammer, the book, is amazing. It's just a little more out there than I was expecting.
By the way, let's go ahead and look at Detective Comics. That's DC Comics, what they used to be called. Now just DC Comics. By the way, also, maybe I'll say it for the show, but I have to take back some information I gave out. I guess that information last week on Thursday that I gave out is incorrect. So there we go. But tune in this week and I'll let you know what the update is. Action Comics 1008. This is Brian Michael Bendis, Steve Epstein. As Garrett says, one of the better Superman books. So go ahead and pick that up if you're interested. This on the cover is Jimmy Olsen being surrounded by a bunch of people pointing guns at him. I believe DEO, I guess, or as the DEO falls, only Jimmy Olsen may hold the answers to helping Superman and Lois Lane uncover who's behind the attacks rocking the DC Universe's biggest clandestine organizations. So this is the series leading into the new Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane book. So there you go. If you are interested in those, go ahead and pick that up. Batgirl number 32. This is Margaret Scott, Paul Fautier, Norm Repmond. Alex, you still getting Batgirl?
I am actually, and I am caught up on this book.
Who's that guy right there?
That I was going to ask you if you knew who this character was. Was it Cormorant? I don't know who. I don't.
I'm not entirely sure. No.
Honestly, I've never seen this guy before, and it almost made me think he was like a not necessarily KG Beast. Obviously, that's a different character, and he's kind of got a broken neck situation. Spoilers.
Quick Google search tells me that this is an aquatic bird.
Well, he doesn't fly, and he doesn't look like Condor from Birds of Prey and New 52. Anyway, this dude's a badass. He's been beating the shit out of Batgirl the last couple issues. She keeps showing up, and he keeps trying to kill people. She kind of has a Spider-Man-esque Peter Parker kind of story going right now, where as Barbara Gordon, she has been kind of having not necessarily a crappy life, but there's an investigation upon the GCPD, so her father's being a little more testy. She's working for someone who's actually trying to shut down the police and to look for corruption. And Jim has a problem with that, but she's like, Barbara can have a crappy life for a while as long as Batgirl is coming out on top. This book is actually very good. I had fallen behind by 3 issues. I was like, is this book still going to be worth my time? It is, and I love Batgirl, and it's fun to see her finally grow into kind of her own book. She doesn't spend a lot of time talking to Batman. It really is all about Barbara doing her own thing, which is great.
Detective Comics 999, Peter J. Tomasi, Doug Mankey, Herman Mendoza. The truth behind the gauntlet Batman has been forced to run, a violent odyssey that endangered the lives of everyone who made him who he is revealed at last. And the mastermind working to unmake the Batman must be seen to be believed. Is there a goal here beyond destruction? Will Batman emerge stronger, or with a mortal wound at the exact moment that his most dangerous challenge yet is on the horizon in next month's Detective Comics 1000? So one more issue to 1000, Alex. Pretty exciting stuff going on here. Is the last one, the Doomed Child, Batman on the cover, the looking like a kid in the Batman suit. Very well drawn by Doug Mankey and Jaime Mendoza. You know what? I'm trying to decide whether or not you jump into 1000 or you grab this 999 because it sounds like this is just going to be an issue. Like, I don't feel like I have to read all the rest of them to get this, but maybe I do. I don't know. But I feel like I should jump in a little bit before 1000, or maybe I just jump into 1000. I'm not sure. Garrett says it's great.
I'm kind of having the same problem that you are. I'm at that point where I kind of want to pull a me and actually go back and get the other 4 issues or 5 issues that has come out just to lead up to this point. Because Garrett claims this is great and it feels like Detective Comics and there's got some stakes in it and it's worth my time. But I'm also like, I don't really want to spend all that money to get the book. I know I'm going to get 1000. I'm definitely on that. It's just how much of the trigger do I pull? Yeah,
let's see. The preview looks great, so I'm not sure. Like everything to that synopsis sounds fantastic. So who knows? I'll make a decision on the day of. Flash
day one
on Flash 65, the end of the price. Joshua Williamson, Rafael Sandoval, Jordi Tagariana, and Chris Berman. Alex, you said you were behind in this. I'm behind this also. I mean, I'm not even getting this. It is part of the
cross for the crossover.
No. I didn't got the time. I didn't pick up those Batman.
I think for me, it's one of those things that I think this is actually number 65 will be the last issue I get of the Flash, mostly just because it tied into Batman. But I think I will officially be dropping Flash because I'm so far behind, and I don't really care anymore. So,
yeah, those 2 issues of Batman I skipped. I'm guessing it's not that super important to the Tom King Batman story overall if they could cross it over like this. So I'll just go ahead and bypass that little crossover. So go ahead.
I'm laughing at you.
Why? Because I can get.
You didn't even pick up the price from Batman? I don't get dropped 64, 65.
I'm not gonna read them. What's the point? I go past.
Respect. Nice. We can't do that, but nice.
Here's in Crisis number 6 to 9. This is Tom King, Mitch Gerads. Oh, really? Okay. Get a deeper look into the inner workings of Sanctuary, where heroes visit the facility. They relive their trauma through virtual reality, contending with the events that brought them there in hopes of reaching a meaningful resolution. That is, until the trauma took over and escalated these personal events into a full-blown crisis. Find out what pushed one of the superheroes over the edge and how it broke the machine. This special issue reunites Eisner Award-winning Mr. Miracle team of writer Tom King and artist Mitch Gerads. You know what? Didn't know Mitch was going to do an issue of this. I am more excited than I was. This series so far, at least for me, I've been really enjoying it. It looks like Mitch Gerads and then also Clay Bannon's credited on this issue also, so he must be doing the flashbacks, Mitch, possibly, about this whole story about who broke it. This series has been consistent. It hasn't really been delayed, so which is great. And I feel like the quality hasn't dropped. For me, I enjoy this. And I think on the show, everybody enjoys this, if I remember correctly. Right, Alex, you like this?
I believe this is one of those books that it's, yes, everybody enjoys it. I believe we can even speak for Garrett. He likes it. It's an eye-opener, and it's nice to see Tom King really does do a great job with all these characters. He knows how to write Booster, and he knows how to make a reader feel for these superheroes who don't normally get the time of day to have feelings of their own.
Yeah, I know the internet's is kind of mixed on this, but I feel like people who don't like this this isn't the type of book they thought it would be. They thought it was going to be a big event thing, but it really is more of a character study. So that cover is very interesting. It's going to give us some answers. Who's behind the massacre? That's been a question the whole time. We got Harley Quinn in the ground, but we also got a Psycho Pirate's mask, and then somebody hovering over her, and you only see a shadow, which kind of looks like Batman. The shoulders look like Batman, so I'm not sure. Like his cowl and his cape. We'll see though. We'll see who that is.
Okay. I was wondering why her face looks so weird, but that's because of Psycho Pirate. Okay.
Yeah.
Mask. Okay.
Justice League Odyssey number 6. This is Dan Abnett and Carmine DiGiavinto. Oh, really? Dan Abnett taking over this issue. The shocking truth about the Ghost Sector and why Brainiac hid the planets away for so long is finally revealed. But before the Odyssey team can take action, a catastrophic event rocks the Ghost Sector. All this in a decidedly hostile welcome from Queen Comard, better known as Starfire's sister, Blackfire. I don't know if that means that Abnett is taking over the book, or Joshua Williamson is. It was Joshua Williamson, right? He's just taking a break.
Yes.
I'm not sure, but we'll see. Dan Abnett's not a bad writer, so he's actually a good writer. I do enjoy him. Carmine, I do enjoy him also.
He did Aquaman, right?
Yes.
To begin with.
And okay. Titans. So Carmine also, I enjoy his art, so we'll see how that looks. We've been surprisingly enjoying this book. It's a nice little out of the normal DC world that we see in a nice kind of cosmic story. Now, it does have to also contend now with Guardians of the Galaxy, which so far Guardians feels more epic to me, but also this book is also the story feels unique, at least at this point. So
I'd say this book at least impresses me enough where it's like I don't want to drop this book, but I will admit I am apprehensive knowing that Joshua Williamson is not on this issue.
We'll
for a book that I was getting exclusively because I like that writer. But we'll see. Yeah, like you said, this book could just be a one-issue filler, and it's going to be great. And for it to actually have Blackfire makes me pretty excited.
Who is the original artist?
Sajak?
Yeah. So, I think he must be a slow draw artist. I'm not sure, but I wish I could see him return to this.
I'm sure if he didn't have to redo those 3 issues, I'm sure we would have had him for 6 issues straight, or maybe he does the bigger arcs.
That's true. I guess
his art is missed because that book looks amazing when he's on the cover and on the insides.
So I'm looking ahead here to get some information. The next issue is Dan Abnett, and the issue after that is also Dan. But it's all the same arc, so I don't know if he's just writing this arc, but that's all they have solicit so far, so I'm not sure beyond that. We'll see. Yeah. At least
I'll get it until we find out. So,
Martian Manhunter number 3 at 12. This is Steve Orlando and Riley Rossmo on the art. Detective Diane Mead knows the shocking truth. Her partner is not the real John Jones. With a gun to his head, John Jones must explain his first horrifying night on Earth and how he came to wear her partner's face. But even as they speak, Middleton's serial killer is back at his bloody work. So far, I enjoy the series. It's very weird. I'll tell you that much. We got some Martian sex, the first issue, and Riley Rossmo is a great artist. So I think this is something that I feel like they do these books every once in a while just to be like, okay, let's do something weird with a certain character that's not really. I mean, Martian Manhunter used to be one of the staples, one of the Justice League, kind of been pushed to the side recently. So they're trying to do something unique with him here. So far, great.
I like the book. I mean, I think part of it is that I'm not a Steve Orlando fan, but I love Riley Rossmo. That I'm on this book until he's not on that issue.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so weird, and I think the thing is, I don't care for the Martian part. I actually care for the stuff on Earth where he's trying to be the detective, and I find that interesting. The stuff on Mars, I'm not as excited about.
Riley Rossmo, yeah, definitely is the highlight. The rest of it it feels. I don't want to say fun's not the right word, but I find it interesting. So I'm going to keep reading at least until it gets not interesting anymore. Shazam, number 3. This is Jeff Johns, Dale Eaglesham. Shazam in the 7 Realms continues. Billy Batson's world is turned upside down by a figure from the past, while Mary, Freddy, and the rest of the Shazam family enter a realm of endless amusement, candy factories, and friends in the Funlands. But what's the catch? Plus a shocking development within the Library of Eternity. There we go, Shazam. So far, Alex, I feel like this thing is exactly what I wanted it to be. I do feel like, who was the artist on the first issue? Was it Dale? Or was it somebody else?
I thought it was somebody else.
Was it Gary Frank? No.
I don't remember if it was Gary, but it had more like
I don't feel like it was Dale. I think Dale jumped on second issue and he's been on it since then. I
remember talking about issue 2 and we were like, oh, this looked really great, but it was different than the first issue. This book is spectacular. I was a little weary. I haven't read any Shazam stuff. Actually, hashtag guest host 1, Gary and Marvin got me a Shazam book for Christmas. I haven't read it yet, but it looks amazing. This is one of those titles that I'm most excited to be getting, just for the fact I don't know enough about this character. And to finally get and Jeff Johns is an amazing writer. I think he's one of the only writers that I think would be able to get this character back on track for the masses to read.
It was Dale in the first issue. I don't know why I thought it was somebody else, but so it's been good so far. I enjoyed it. It's really a fun book.
What do we know?
It's a really fun book. And the guy isn't a book hasn't had a single ongoing since 10 years ago, I believe it was. Well, maybe 20. I can't remember what I said when the first issue came out. Go back and listen to our review, but I believe it's been a long, long time since Shazam has been having his own book. Usually he is a character in a team book, or he's in the back pages as like a backup to the main book. First time he's getting his own. He's getting his own movie coming up here soon, which isn't not a coincidence. Of course, obviously they want to get this person in the public mind before he comes out, but they didn't just do it as a cash grab. It is very fantastic so far. So they put a good team on it. They took care of it. They understood. Like, Jeff Johns wants to write this book. You can feel that. It's not just something that they feel like they need to get out before the movie gets out. So, Terrifics 13, Jeff Lemire, Joe Bennett. The Terrifics are back, and they're ready to enter the final battle with the Dreadfuls. Doc Dread Revenge Squad has systematically whipped out dozens of Mr. Terrifics from across the multiverse. As the many Mr. and Mrs. Terrifics fight for their lives, the cavalry is on the way, but will Fantagirl, Plastic Man, and the repowered Metamorpho reach the battle in time? And how can the heroes possibly count on this win with the mountain bodies in Doc's wake? Doc Dread's wake, excuse me. Alex, I'm going to look it up right now, but when it says their final battle, is this like the last issue, or what's going on here? I thought this thing was going to continue.
I thought it was only issued until 14, or maybe that's when Jeff Lemire was going to be done. I lied to you, Marvin. I hadn't caught up on this book, but I've actually loved the Terrifics as a team. I think these characters really feel like they felt like a team until they decided to split up for a while. And like I said, being 3.5 issues behind, 2.5 issues behind, I don't know what's going on with these guys. If they're still homies, if they decide to stay apart forever, obviously they're being brought back together. Dr. Dread is a douche. They're going to take him out, and we'll find out. Maybe the team is going to stay going longer than 14 issues. Maybe they're going to end. Who knows?
The next issue says it's the last issue, which is strange because I know that Jeff Lemire was getting off the next issue, and they had originally announced that it was going to keep going with a different writer, but maybe they decided against it. So it'll end.
I suppose you just finish up with the team and let the book be done.
The cover for that looks fantastic, by the way. So. Wonder Woman 65, G. Willow Wilson, Jesus Morano. If you ask Wonder Woman who her nemesis is, she might just say Veronica Cale. And now Veronica has the power of the actual god Nemesis under her control. Some of the resurrected Olympians who Wonder Woman has encountered has changed in unpredictable ways. Is there a crack in Nemesis' armor that Diane can get through, or will she miss the chance to redeem yet another of her divine brethren? Alex, Wonder Woman, how's it going so far? G. Willow Wilson's run.
Okay, so I am actually 3 issues behind, but it's not because I didn't want to catch up. It's that I don't have them yet. But I'm up through issue 62, and I love Wilson's writing. It is so amazing. This is what Wonder Woman should be, and how I feel her character should have been written for since Greg Rucka had gotten off. I love the Olympians, and I love the Pantheon. I love just her being the way she is. And when I read issue, I think it was 59, when she shows up on the wherever Steve Trevor was, and the whole time she's not even she's just incapacitating people, and she's jumping from place to place to help people or to protect these people, to give them hope. Oh my gosh, it made me so excited. I love this book.
Fantastic. I am behind also on this book, but I know Garrett is caught up. And the last I heard from him also, he's very, very satisfied with this book. So Wonder Woman, it feels great to have a good Wonder Woman book out there, even though I don't think really, from my internet reading, I haven't seen many people talk about this book. But then again, you don't need it to be popular, you just need it to be good. So there you go, Wonder Woman, number 65. Amazing. We're talking about Marvel Comics now. Amazing Spider-Man, number 16. This is Nick Spencer, Ryan Otley back. The Road to Hunted starts here, the biggest Amazing Spider-Man story of the year. Starts next month, so don't miss the prologue. The Craven thread gets woven into Spider-Man's life in a terrifying way that puts Spidey on the road to ruin. Craven the Hunter right on that cover. Alex, what do we think about Ryan Otley and Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man?
Amazing. Literally amazing. This book is what I want from Spider-Man. Obviously, being a Craven the Hunter biased guy, I cannot wait to see Amazing Spider-Man go up against Craven the Hunter, and just if I have any idea of what this book is going to have in store, this will literally be one of my favorite arcs ever put out for a comic book.
Not even just an arc, Alex. This is the Spider-Man event of this year, so you're going to get a full event thing out of this.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing is that it makes me so excited. There's not been enough Craven the Hunter stuff, and sometimes the Craven stuff is spectacular. God, what's the end of the Gauntlet run? Oh, shit. Anyway, when Craven shows up, it's always such a surprise, and when it's going to be this big of an event, I am so pumped, so amped. This is like Shredder coming back, like Oroku Saki coming back in Turtles excitement for me.
I'm going to guess since Nick Spencer picked Craven the Hunter to be part of the biggest Spider-Man story of the year, he also shares your love for Craven the Hunter. So
maybe I need to tweet him and go, Craven's the best. Love you, Spencer.
And also got Ryan Otley back, so that should be great. Black Panther number 9. This is T.C. Coates, Kev Walker, David Acuna on that cover. The Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, The Gathering of My Name, Part 3. The Panther faces a creature of nightmares. In the fight against N'Jaka and his empire, the Maroons embark on a journey through myth, but the loss of their leader Nyambe continues to haunt them, and the true monster lays in wait. Very excited. Black Panther has been fantastic since the beginning. 9 issues in, but it's been great. It's been a nice sci-fi book with Black Panther involved. We got Kev Walker on this issue. Acuna on the cover. I'll take it. Black Panther, the movie, just won 3 Oscars. What do we think, Alex? Black Panther in space.
I never thought that I would enjoy Black Panther in space as much as I have. That first arc was spectacular with the Acuna art. Loved it. And then just to know that the next 3 issues to follow were just as good with different artists, and the writing is so superb. And I think a part of it is that I'm anticipating eventually they come back down to Earth. There eventually has to be a Black Panther back here. But I almost don't know if I need it to come back down here. There's enough story going on right now. It's this great epic, I'm going to almost call it fairy tale, of just epic proportions. I can't wait to see what this book has in store. And I know the next book we talk about is just going to be as good, because I having the same writer be strong on both books. I'm cutting to Captain America right now. Is that makes me excited for eventually they're going to most likely have to have some kind of tie-in, even if it's a 2-issue run back and forth.
Ta-Nehisi Coates, Captain America number 8. That's what Alex is talking about. Ta-Nehisi Coates also on this book. Adam Cuban on art. Alex Ross on that cover. Captain and Nothing continues. Cap accused. Cap in custody. Cap killer. As the Power Elite makes its play against the Star-Spangled Avenger, Captain America is in no position to fight back. Who stands with Cap? You know what, Alex? 2 things here. First off, we know this book's fantastic. I've been gloating about this thing from day one. I believe this is a return to form for this book. I've been enjoying the storyline so far. Art-wise, it's had great artists since the beginning, but let's talk about this cover here for a second. I don't care if that costume looks dumb in film. That's my favorite costume. The wings and the A, and the way it, like it's an actual mask on his face. I don't know what it's classic, yes, but it works in comics. We don't need it to make it look like the movies. That works in comics. So
I think the thing that makes it look so good for Captain is that it is a symbol to bring people together, but it's also not like he's wearing armor. Like in the movies, I get you kind of got to armor him up. You got to make it look more aesthetically pleasing. But like you said, in the comic books, he looks like he's wearing blue spandex with a brown belt, and that just makes me go, Batman, when he gets stabbed, it hurts just as much as if I get stabbed. He's just in way better shape.
Plus, also, I mean, not to talk about Chris Evans in a negative light, because I do enjoy him in these movies, but look at that face on the here. That guy fills out that mask. Chris Evans his face is too small for that. So
I agree.
He's got a wide face, this Captain America. He's got a nice, strong chin. You need a strong chin to be Captain. Captain Marvel, Braver and Mightier, #1, Jodie Hauser. Simon Bonafucci Tino. Hero for a Day, Hero for a Planet. It's Carol Danvers Day. Air Force pilot Carol Danvers is a hero to many. So what could possibly delay her to her own celebration? Only her other job as Earth's mightiest hero, Captain Marvel, stuck between her duty to her community and her responsibility to a wider world. Carol must make the tough decision and muster all her power to fend off an invasion force. Don't miss the excitement of the strongest and mightiest hero of all in her latest adventure. So you're looking for some Captain Marvel before the movie comes out. Here you go. Jodie Hauser is a great writer, so I would check this out if you're interested in Captain Marvel. Coming out tomorrow. It doesn't say if it's an ongoing or if it is a mini, but who knows? Marvel likes to keep that hidden. So Daredevil #2. This is Chip Zdarsky, Marco Cicchetto, classified. Can't tell you what it's about, it says. So I actually bought the first issue. I haven't finished reading it. I started reading it, but it's like an oversized issue, and it takes a while. You know how it goes.
What you've read of it is good.
Yeah, I've liked what I've read of it so far. I mean, the way I know there's something about it that would make Alex mad, but I don't mind it, so it's fine. Anybody
at the end of the show, you just need, after we're done,
I'll tell you what it is. But everybody else, I enjoyed so far. So if you're looking to jump into Daredevil, you like the TV show, and the TV show is now canceled. You're looking for your Daredevil fix. Issue 1 was great. Go ahead. Well, at least what I read so far. Go ahead and pick that up, and then 2 is out this week. So
I think the DD covers look amazing, though. Like I want to get it just because the book looks great.
It's good so far. The art inside is fantastic too. So I really enjoy the art inside. I don't know. I believe I've seen him somewhere before. I can't put my finger on it, but it looks fantastic. So
when you say Cicchetto, I think of the Punisher back when Greg Rucka was doing it years ago.
I think he did an Electro thing, maybe. I don't know. I would have to look it up. I know we've talked about a book he's done in the show before, but it was like at the beginning of this show 2 years ago. So 3 years ago now. Oh, Jesus. Fantastic Four, #7, Dan Slott, Aaron Cooter, Isaac Rubik on that cover. Herald of Doom Part 2 in the battle between Dr. Doom and Galactus. Who would you favor? A man who is trying to be... These are not bullet points, Marvel. A man who is trying... This is one paragraph. A man who is trying to be a hero to his beloved nation or an unstoppable cosmic force of nature. It's a simple choice unless you're Mr. Fantastic. This dilemma, plus a strange new development in the life of Human Torch and a long-forgotten threat from the Fantastic Four's past resurface. You know what I forgot? This seems like it came out a long time ago, issue #6. When did issue 6 come out?
It had to be last month, but I'm sure it was the start of 1 month or end of a month or something in the middle of the month. That's probably been over a month since we've gotten this issue to come out, because I know we talked about it on the show.
We did talk about it on the show, and I'm looking it up right now. Let's see, January 16th, 2019. So it has been a little bit over a month. You're right. So it feels like forever. I don't know why, but I've been enjoying it so far, especially this arc. That last issue was really great, I thought. There's a little part that bothered me about the last issue, but it was small enough that I went past it. I'm excited to see more Doom. I'm excited to see more Galactus, classic Fantastic Four villains, and see where we go from this point on. But so far, at least, my worries about Dan Slott, it's more Dan Slott's Silver Surfer kind of writing rather than the Spider-Man stuff. So far, at least, I enjoy it. I didn't get the...
It's been good.
Go ahead.
I liked issue 5. That issue 5 wedding one was good. There's that other one building up to the wedding. You didn't really need to read it unless you just want some more back information. Since the team has shown up in issue 3 and actually been the Fantastic Four, it's been really good. I know I was talking about dropping it. until there's a better reason to drop it, I'm going to stick on with this team.
Here we go. Invaders #2, Chip Zdarsky, Carlos Magno, Butchgeist on the cover there. After the shocking reveals about Namor's last issue, the Human Torch goes deeper into the Submariner's past, hoping to uncover his plan. But Captain America goes the direct route to Atlantis, alone against the Mad King and his army in the exciting second chapter of War Ghost, the American ambassador. I don't know if I said on the show, but I know I said to you guys, that first issue was fantastic. Looking forward to the second issue. It has everything I love about Marvel Comics in this book. It's more of a, and this sounds weird because it's Namor and Atlantis and all this stuff, but it has more of a grounded story, so far at least, and the art style is very great. It actually reminds me of a lot of Captain America. It's more of a Captain America style book, if that makes any sense, but so far at least I really, really enjoy it. If you look at that preview, some fantastic work going on there.
I'll admit, when you talk about issue 1, that whole, I think you were the only one who got it between the three of us. And I think you talked about it on the show, or maybe you just talked about it on the forecast. You made me want to get that book because it sounded so good. I might be willing to give 1 and 2 a shot.
Alex, do me a favor. Are you on the Previous World website right now? Yeah. Click on that preview. Check out that 5th page. Look at this work that's being done in this book. It's fantastic. So,
give me a second. I'm not. That art looks nice on that page. Hang on. Ooh, look at all the sharks. Sorry. Wow.
So far, I've enjoyed it. I would say.
So I'm going to get this book.
I would say not to judge this on that little miniseries leading up to this because it was different writers, different artists. I feel like it was all over the place. This is Chip. This is what Chip wants to do. The art's fantastic. It's a style that I enjoy. It almost looks like. Who am I thinking here? I'm not sure. But it's a nice.
The water looked great.
I like how it looks. Yeah, it's fantastic. So, first issue was great. I'm looking forward to the second issue.
I'll get 1 and 2. I'll give it a try. I dropped Justice League. I dropped Flash. Why not?
There you go. West Coast Avengers #8. This is Kelly Thompson, Gang Yuck, and Lim. Kate Bishop. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. These are not bullet points. Marvel. That's a whole paragraph. What do you think so far of the West Coast Avengers? On the cover there, we got Kate. And then we got Gwenpool, and then we got America. I really don't like that cover. It seems kind of weird for this book, but all right. It's showing those three.
Weird that they're doing a Charlie's Angels thing, but
it shows them in a very sexual poses and body shapes. I've never seen them in this book, especially Kate, because she really doesn't work out that much. And in America, I believe, is not that thin also, but have that thin of a face. But all right. I guess it's the cover. What do you think about Kelly Thompson's West Coast Avengers?
Great. I was the longest time a little apprehensive on whether or not this book was going to be for me. I got into issue 4. I finished that first arc with Brodok, and I actually really, really enjoyed it. There were things that were quirky, and much like the girl who says she still wants to be a dragon, and so they let her still be a dragon, which seems like a choice that no one should have had anyway. But okay. It's good. I don't know if this is a book that I would suggest for everybody because it really is kind of quirkier and weirder than anticipated. But I want to give Kelly Thompson the chance to impress me like she did with Hawkeye. And I think, unfortunately, I'm still holding on to that little bit of hope that it's still strong. And it is a strong book, but we'll find out because there's just a whole hodgepodge of characters on this team. And some of them don't make sense to be on a team together.
Hey, it says Gwenpool adopted that baby land shark, so that you look forward to that also.
That is the saving grace right there.
And by the way, I wasn't saying that they can't look like that. I'm just saying Kelly Thompson, the way she portrays in the book, is not that. So it's very weird to show that on the cover when I know inside they're more not normal, but realistic body shapes, and they have different personalities than that they're showing on that cover. So I don't know what that cover is about, but all right. Here we go. Buffy the Vampire Slayer #2. This is the Dan Mora drawn, Jordy Belair written, Matthew Taylor writing that cover. Alex, did you get a chance to read the first issue?
I did read the first issue. I think we actually talked about it on the show.
Oh yeah, that's right. What do we think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer so far?
I I never grew up watching it religiously. I would catch an issue or an episode from time to time. I loved issue 1. It was really good. The characters look like they do on the TV show. It feels it it feels like it does in the 90s or early 2000s. This is a fun book to read. That Dan Mora art is phenomenal. That is one of those people that you hear the name on a book, you should just be getting it literally just for the art alone. And the Jordi Belair story, I hadn't read anything by her before. I've always seen her colors, which are always on par, if not better than par. That was a hole in one every time. But the writing is actually pretty good, and it does feel like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Cannot wait to see what issue 2 has in store for me. If they're rebuilding the universe that had already been made and they're doing their own stories, I hope. Or who knows, maybe we'll get some callbacks to past episodes that lead into some nice nostalgic feeling for everybody, because Joss Whedon is also a part of the book, not writing it, but he is a part of the forerunner for it.
Yeah, I believe he, as Garrett put it, he is the
consultant or something.
Yeah, putting this structure together for this story. So a couple more in the upside down here. I found a couple to talk about down here. First off, everybody's been looking forward to this. Barbie #1. This is Sarah Kuhn and Athila Martinez. It says right in the cover, Alex, first collector's item issue. So, you as a collector have to get this. The fashion superstar is back. Barbie makes her triumphant return to comics. So if you're looking to get a Barbie comic, there you go. That is out this week, #1. Catch up with the story. Forgotten Queen #1. This is Tini Howard and Amakar Pina. I just wanted to bring this up here from Valiant Comics. Long ago, the mighty generals of the Mongol Empire rode from Siberia to what does it say here? Carpathia, and conquered all who stood in their way. Legends tell of a witch who walked with them, who can infect the hearts of any warrior. In her midst, with the unquenchable thirst for battle and bloodshed, a warmonger. And now she is walking again this winter. An ancient evil will stir as a rising star writer Tina Howard and powerhouse artist Amakar Pina unleash hell in a brand new saga of honor, love, and savagery that's centuries in the making. So that cover actually looks pretty great. Kano, I like his artwork, so that cover stood out to me. So if you're looking for a new #1, unless something a little bit different, go ahead and there you go. The Forgotten Queen, #1 from Valiant Comics. Valiant's been a good publisher, so check that out if you are so inclined. Alex, what are we looking forward to this week? What do you think is going to stand out for you? What's going to be your pick this week?
Oh, I think we both know the answer to that one. Amazing Spider-Man #16, beginning of Hunted. Give me some Kraven the Hunter. Give me some Spider-Man. We'll see who wins.
It sounds like it's going to be fantastic. You know what? I don't know why I'm not reading that book. I have no clue why I'm not reading that book. I should be.
I thought you had gotten issue 1.
I said I was, and I never did. So
and then you lied to me. Wow.
I possibly said I picked it up, and I didn't.
Wow.
But if anywhere's to start, I could start there, right? You think? Possibly. We'll see.
I would actually start back where Scorpion shows up. So
I ain't got the time. I ain't got the time, Alex.
It's 12 or 13, because then you could lead in literally into it.
Let me know when we're in the 6th issue of the next arc, 6 of 9, and I'll jump in there. So, I'm looking forward to Invaders #2. Chip Zdarsky. I like the first issue a lot. I'm really looking forward to see where the story goes. It has a group of characters that I like, that Invaders kind of era stories. So to see now in the modern day, because it's those flashback from them and World War II to the modern day and modern story. So both of them so far are very interesting to me. So I'm looking forward to this. And if you look at that preview, fantastic art. So I'm looking forward to some good storytelling from Chip Zdarsky. There we go. Alex, you know what? We're sitting here nice in our homes. It's nice and warm. We're having a nice conversation about these funny books. But outside, it's a little cold. Today, I believe, when I was going into work, it was like a -22, -25, around that range. I don't know. I'm not a weatherman. And a little chilly. And I just want to know 2 things. First off, I heard when it's that chilly, the air is too dry for any snow. So we're not going to get any snow, right? And also... once the cold take off, it's supposed to be spring soon. So, like, usually, when you go into the next season, usually before it actually hits the first day of spring, and it feels like spring. I don't feel like we're going to get that this year.
No, you're not. So meteorology, weather-wise, spring will be here in about 22 days. You can count your blessings. Most likely, it's still going to be freaking freezing. Because guess what? It's going to be in the single digits to teens all week long. Your overnight's going to be, below zero. So put on your parkas, sleep in your parkas. If you got a nice warm dog, snuggle up with them to keep some warmth. You know what? I don't even know what to tell you. Those of you who are getting comic books, you better buy doubles of each because you're going to need to light those up for some kindling to get some fire in your house because it is chilly. I'm sitting in my basement right now, and my feet are freaking freezing.
Alex, I don't know what you're talking about. Next Monday, we have a high of 1. That's pretty good.
Oof. With a wind chill of negative 28.
Speaking of which, if you want to go back to our last show, Good Reads, we have a segment on there where we recommend some books because we know people for most of the country, because that polar vortex kind of reaches far deep south, that you'll want to stay inside and you can catch up on some books, and we recommend some good stuff to read. Speaking of reading, to get to the comic book shop, you need to take some roads. Garrett left this message with me. Hey, Garrett. Yeah, pass it over here. The roads look okay. I cannot speak anymore about concrete. All right, okay. Looks like they're going to be okay, so you should be okay.
I thought you were a roadologist, Garrett.
Yeah, well, he's very silent today. He's a man of few words this week. He had no comments on any of those books this week. He's just internalizing all his monologues. So, nice. The roads look like they should be okay. Actually, if we're talking about roads for real, they're okay now. For a while, we had a lot of snow. It was a little slippery. Got stuck a little bit. But you got to just rock back and forth to get out of it, baby. But now we are at a good point. Nothing was really that slippery. There was one part where I slipped coming out of a parking lot, but that's to be expected. Parking lots aren't the best.
Yeah, but it may be not slippery anymore, but have you seen the size of those potholes? They're going to eat your car.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there's one. Where's that pothole at that I always see? It's kind of by my house, by the railroad tracks. It is the biggest pothole I ever seen in my life. I keep forgetting that it's there, and every time I'm heading towards it, I just pray that I make it over that thing. So it's literally like the whole road. It could take my car down. Who knows? It's probably taking 5 cars down. I don't know. That thing is killing people left and right. I'm going to talk to Domino's after we're done here and see what they can do about it. So, looks like a fantastic week of comics. I'm really looking forward to this bunch. Hey, we got Black Panther and Captain America back to back now, the way that they've been not delayed, but they've been kind of late within the month. So now they kind of hit the same week. And Invaders. This week is for me, baby. I'm reaching out. I got a lot of good stuff.
This is the Marvin week.
And you got Amazing Spider-Man. You got what else?
We got Man-Eaters. We got Realm. I mean, I've got a great week.
We got Fantastic Four, which I've enjoyed so far. Daredevil #2, which has been the first issue what I've read so far is pretty great. You
got a Marvel heavy week this week.
Heroes in Crisis #6. There's a lot of good stuff here. Like we could have went on and on about our picks. The choice is up in the air. When Alex sent us a list of what we're reviewing this week, it actually looked fantastic. Not one book in there I'm not excited to read. So catch us on that show this week, and we'll talk about those books. We'll talk about my correction of my DC story from last week, and who knows, maybe we'll do a feature, as we always do. I mean, we will. We'll take out that maybe. Garrett, edit that out when you do the show. Just kidding. You don't know how to edit. Okay. For Wednesday Comics, I've been Marvin.
I'm Alex. Garrett's somewhere. Hey, everyone. Keep reading those books.